Welcome back to the Boys and Ball podcast. We talk everything sports. Today we got our NFL segment. Mr. Boosie is wearing a Taco Tuesday shirt on a Thursday. He has completely lost his mind. Let's go. Bow.
So what's up,
All right.
boys?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah,
Welcome back. Welcome back.
so boys, I hit y'all up. I wanted everyone to make their playoff predictions. We at this point in the season, we kind of got some trends going. We know what teams are looking really good. Who do y'all boys got as the number one seed that you think is going to come out of the AFC?
So you just want to go around the table?
Yeah, around the table. Let's go.
All right, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I got the Chiefs out of the AFC. I think they're going to be number one.
We're going to start the AFC? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also going to ride with you. I'm going to pick the Chiefs going number one in there. I think they're going to be able to knock the Dolphins off, and they're going to take the second seed. I don't think they'll get the first round bye. JT, over here.
What?
Yeah, so I also have the Chiefs as my number one seed going into the playoffs. You know,
Ooh, Dan, hold on. JT got lost in the sauce.
JT's always lost in the sauce.
What'd you say?
Oh, he's back?
Jeffrey's not happy with you.
Oh, yeah?
Who the fuck is Jeffrey?
My snowman.
Oh, nice.
His name is Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dan. Who do you have as your number one seed?
I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs as my number one seed in the AFC.
Okay. Number two, I got the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are riding hot. That offense looks crazy. I think they're going to win their division.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Fins. I think they're going to win their division. Tyreek Hill can't be stopped. Jalen Waddle's a good number two. Tua's looking like an all right quarterback. As long as he plays some safe football, I think they can wrap up that division and take the number two seed in the playoffs.
I also concur. I think the Bills have looked a little sluggish, and especially with Josh Allen getting hurt, and they have a rough couple of games coming up. I definitely feel that the Bills are going to fall, so that's why I got the Fins sliding into the number two seed.
I think the biggest factor for the Bills and why I think the Dolphins are going to win their division is the Bills have only played 2 division games right now, and they're 0-2 in their division. So they basically are going to need to win out their division, and I just with some of the injuries and the way that team's been playing some close games, I feel like they're going to drop at least one of them. Number 3, I got the Ravens.
All right,
I got the Ravens as my 3 seed. Yeah,
I've also got the Ravens as my 3 seed.
Right. At my 3 seed, I actually got the Tennessee Titans. I think that they always have an easy schedule. Their conference, their division is awful.
Trash.
Yeah, they're so bad. So they just have an easy 6 wins every year. They play a couple other, teams that they run the football a lot. It's kind of hard to stop. So I got the Titans taking the number 3 seed.
Okay. All right. Number 4, I have the Titans. I don't love this Titans team. This is a team, they're going to win their division because it's so bad, but this is not a team that's really going to compete in the playoffs. I see them as like a possible very early exit.
Yeah, one and done type deal. I also agree. I'm also Titans. I think they'll get into the 4th seed and they'll probably maybe be a one and done this year.
All right, so this is where I got a little mix up from you boys. I have the Bengals beating out the Ravens at that. They have a couple games. They have 2 division games against the Browns and against the Ravens, and I got them stealing that division from the Ravens, sliding to the number 4 seed.
But Dan, let's ask you this question: in the past 5 games against the Browns, what is the Bengals' record?
I don't want to talk about it, but
okay, so you're reliant on a team to beat a team that they haven't beaten in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm being ignorant is what we do.
Oh, fantastic!
What we do here.
I just wanted you to admit it. I'm
gonna admit it all day long.
Okay, great, fantastic. All right, my number 5 seed, I got the Buffalo Bills. I still think this team's going to win a lot of games. They're just not going to win their division.
At number 5, I've got the Bengals sliding in there.
Oh, you think the Bengals going to have a better record than the Bills at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think the Bengals are a better record than the Bills at the end of the year.
All right.
I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that hill with Joe Burrow.
All right.
Nice. I respect it. I also have the Bills sliding into the number 5 seed. I think they're a really good team. They had a couple unfortunate games and that unfortunate set of circumstances, but they're still a really good team. They're still a heavy favorite to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think that they're that number 1 seed anymore.
Okay, yeah. Number 6. Here's where I think mine's going to diverge from you guys a lot. I got the Chargers at number 6.
All right.
Oof, okay. Coming at number 6 for me, that's where I slid the Buffalo Bills in there. I think if they're going to make the playoffs and make it to the big game, they're going to have to take a long road to get there.
Yeah. I got the Ravens. I still think that the Ravens are a super solid team, but like I said, I think I got the Bengals stealing a couple games, and the Ravens falling. So that's why I got the Ravens at 6. They're still a great team. They're probably going to be the second team in that tough AFC North division, but obviously they can't be number 1 if the Bengals are there.
True. Number 7, I have the New York Football Jets.
All right.
Jets.
Yeah, they're just like the Giants. The team is not good, but somehow they're winning football games. So let's just put them in the playoffs. Let's just see how it
why
goes.
not? Let the Milwaukee do his thing.
Coming in at number 7 for me, that's where I slotted in the Chargers. Let's hold the Chargers into that number 7 seed.
All right, so I brought the jersey because I wanted to go wild. I got the Pats sliding into that number 7 seed. I think they're gonna, upset the Jets. They got to play them twice. They got to play the Bills in 2 weeks. I think we got a couple crazy games ago. You don't like it? You don't like it?
It's awful.
No.
It's awful. That's awful.
No.
But Jesus, that's just a bad pick. It's just a bad pick. They have so many division games left to play. You have all these teams
in the division right now.
Yes, last in the division.
But they're still 5-4 though. Like and they're just outside the playoff picture right now.
No, they're 5-4, and they're 1-1 in the division. They still have 4 division games left to go. Like, do you think they're about to beat up on the Dolphins and the Bills to make the playoffs? No.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Dan, that's bold. Dan, you die on that hill.
I will die on the hill. We smack around the Jets every year. We beat the Finns at home. We play the Bills at home. The Bills are the Bills. They just do what they do. They're a good team,
right.
But
they win.
Yeah.
Do you know who they don't win against, bro?
The Pats.
No, they don't win against NFC East teams in the Super Bowl. I'll throw my shade.
I'm just saying the Patriots are better in the division right now than the Bills are. So I'm just saying.
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong in that aspect.
There it is. There it is.
This is a wild pick here.
I love it though.
You're insane. You're unstable.
I love it though.
You're losing your mind. You are completely biased in this situation. You found a way to put your team in with no evidence behind it. Have fun with this pick being 100% wrong.
I can't wait till this pick is correct, and you have to apologize. I want to hear.
I'm not going to apologize, but I want you to call me out.
I will call you out.
In the end, it's not going to happen. Both your teams are going to miss the playoffs, and I hope they both finish at 8 and 9, so they both have horrendous picks. Have fun missing the playoffs. Enjoy it with me. Live in my misery.
All right. Let's tone it down. Let's take a look over to the teams that we guys got lined up in the NFC. What's your guys' brackets looking like in the NFC? For my number 1 seed, I did pick the Vikings to slide in and win the NFC. And get that first round bye.
I got the Eagles.
Justin Jefferson's hot. Oh man, Justin Jefferson's hot. Kirk Chains is out there.
No, I got Eagles at number 1. They slipped up last week. Didn't play a great game, but they're gonna get back on track. They're the number 1 seed.
Give me Kirk Thuggins and the Minnesota Vikings.
Let's go, Dan. High five, bro.
Let's go. The boys, they're just on fire right now. Jay Jetta's playing out of his mind. That team just can't be stopped. They lost, the early game to the Eagles, but they didn't lose to the Commanders like the Eagles did. They still the Eagles got to play a lot of divisions game left, and they always struggle.
Okay, yeah. But when it comes down to the tiebreaker, who beat who?
Well, it doesn't matter because it's not going to be a tiebreaker because the Eagles are going to lose into the division against the Boys or the Giants. So just saying.
Let's go.
No. At the 2 seed, I got the Vikings. They're going to be a high-ranked team, but they're not. I don't see them winning the conference.
I got the Eagles sliding in at number 2.
Same here. I got the Eagles in at number 2 as well. Yeah, like you said, they're one of the better. They're the best team in the conference right now. So, you have to.
Dan, I just want to let you know the
Yeah.
next 3 weeks for the Vikings are the Cowboys, Patriots, and Jets.
Yeah.
So,
So they're gonna beat the Cowboys,
uh
lose to the Patriots, beat the Jets.
oh, okay. So they're going to drop a game. So the Eagles will still have an opportunity to drop a game and still get the first seed.
No, because
Thank you.
they gotta lose to the Giants and the Cowboys, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
You told me to get egregious. We're getting egregious out here.
I did not tell you that. You're
He
doing
said-
this all on
He
your own.
said, "Get egregious, make some wild statements," and that's what I'm out here doing.
Okay. All right. All right. Bruce, who do you have at your 2 seed?
The 2 seed, the Eagles.
The Eagles? Okay. All right. My 3 seed, a little wild from where they're ranked right now, but this team is getting hot. They got a lot of weapons. I'm putting the 49ers as a 3 seed.
Yes, me too, bro. I also was like, yeah, them 49ers is looking pretty deadly. So, like, you know what? CMC can be a crazy asset for them because they can put Debo in the backfield. They can put George Kittle out at tight end. They can put CMC out at wide receiver. This team's got a whole lot of weapons that can definitely get hot at the right time. And they can definitely just kind of run through these playoffs and get that.
Yeah. And they just got Elijah Mitchell and Trent Williams back. The offense is healthy right now.
It's about time for them to take that step.
And just remember, Jimmy Garoppolo is better when he doesn't throw touchdown passes. Rely on the run game, Kyle Shanahan.
So I also have the 49ers at that 3 slot. Yeah, I think they're the third best team in the division, right? The conference right now. Even though they're behind the Seahawks, I think they're going to leapfrog the Seahawks and take that number 3 slot.
Okay. All right.
Coming in at number 4, even though like this division is honestly just a shit-licking contest, I do have Tom Brady and the Buccaneers winning their division, even though their division is so bad as well. It's kind of like the Titans division. I'll take the Buccaneers. I'll take Papa Tom.
It's what the NFC East has been the past couple of years. I also have the Buccaneers. I just don't see another team winning that division. The Saints aren't playing well. And then you have the Panthers and the Falcons who are competing for a high draft pick. So I just don't see it.
Yeah, they're the best of the worst in that division.
I also have Father Tom and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because Divorce Tom has not lost yet. So, keep riding that till he loses. He's undefeated.
Okay.
Divorce Tom has not lost.
That is a fact.
Oh, okay. Is that different from getting divorced, Tom?
So from the time that Tom Brady has officially gotten divorced, he has not lost a game in the NFL.
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah,
just saying.
I believe he's only 2-0. But
it's only 2-0. But we wrote Cooper Rush early in the season whenever he was only 2-0. So we can write.
Do you guys hear a wild stat?
What?
All right, so like last week, remember when Tom Brady went out on that like little pass that he catched, but he was gonna catch, but he fell down, right?
Yeah.
If he would have caught that, he would have been the oldest player in the NFL to ever get a reception.
That is pretty wild.
I mean, that's wild, but he's also 71. So
the current record right now is Jerry Rice at 41.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, since Tom Brady is older than Father Time, that doesn't surprise me that would have been a record.
He's taking all the records. It don't matter what it's for.
Oldest rushing touchdown.
Who do y'all boys have at number 5?
My football Giants are going to take that number 5 seed. Thank you very much.
Okay. Dan, who you got at 5?
I got the Seahawks at number 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got the Cowboys at 5.
Interesting. We all got something different.
Yeah. Don't give me that look. You just like Dan, biased. Stop. Control yourself. You're going to lose to the Commanders.
We're about to beat them. No, we're going to beat them on Thanksgiving because I got to play the Vikings first and they play us 4 days later. We're going to have to trounce them on Thanksgiving. Clip it, Dan.
Clip it? Okay, I just want to just remember this, JT, whenever the Giants lose on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah.
Go ahead. Meme me as a short. Go ahead. I don't care.
I'm putting it out there. We're gonna have you clip saying that, and then boom, scoreboard.
Just image. All right. So who you guys got coming in next at number 6?
I got the Seahawks.
All right. Mr. Boosie.
I've got the Cowboys coming in at number 6.
All right, all right.
I think there are going to be 3 teams from the NFC East to make this playoffs this time, or 3 teams from the NFC East to make the playoffs this time. And I think number 6 is going to be the Cowboys.
Yeah. I have
Okay.
your New York Football Giants at number 6. I think they're better than the Cowboys. I think they're gonna, sneak it out.
I think JT is just going to be disrespectful here and throw him in there at 7 because he's trying to throw shade at my squad.
So I got the Giants here at 7, and my reason is I think they're
Oh.
going to finish with the same record as the Seahawks. And again, it comes down to head, and they lost to the Seahawks.
Yeah, no. Okay, so here's my outlandish take. Seahawks makes the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers catches fire. Green Bay makes that 7th seed.
That is a wild turn of events I did not expect.
Yes, sir. Aaron Rodgers needed that win against the Titans, and he got it. Or needed that win against the Cowboys, and he got it. So you know what? They're gonna start taking that step. They're gonna sneak in and steal that number 7 seed from those Eagles.
But when does that start? Next week?
Not
Because
from
they're
those
losing
Eagles.
right now.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
They're gonna drop this. They're gonna drop this game to the Titans because I think the Titans will win. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, who do you got at 7, JT?
Well, at 7, I got the Giants. I said that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. No, at 7,
Who
I
you
got the
have at
Cowboys. I got the Cowboys. I think the NFC East is the best team in the conference right now, so they're gonna put their top 3 teams in. Yeah, we just talked about some of the better teams in the league. We want to talk about some of these atrocious teams that are kind of just scraping along the bottom. And I think JT's got some things he wants to say. About
feeders.
Yeah, we're talking little bottom feeders right now. So right now, the Houston Texans have the worst record in the league. They're on pace for that number 1 overall pick. This team, they're going to have multiple draft picks. They have the Browns' first rounder. I think you got to take CJ Stroud here. Davis Mills is not. I mean, this team needs a lot of help, but you got to take best talent available. CJ Stroud is the number 1 overall pick. You need to take CJ Stroud, and maybe you deal Davis Mills for another pick somewhere, but you take CJ Stroud and then you go with best player available with like pick 10 or wherever you get from Cleveland.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. As much as it was nice to see Davis Mills kind of go off last year, it's proven that it was just a fluke, and he really hasn't had the same success this year. And I get the Houston Texans have a bunch of problems, and they're not really working that well this year. You can't pass up a talent like CJ Stroud. Even if he doesn't pan out for the Texans, like you still have to take that chance on him that he could be the quarterback to turn your team around.
All right, so here's my wild take. I would honestly like to see this Houston Texans team use this number 1 overall pick on a very, very good secondary player.
You want them to take a secondary player, so you don't want them to take like Will Anderson, who's going to be the best pass rusher, top pass rusher taken.
No, I think this team's secondary needs so much more help than pretty much any other position on the field. Davis Mills is a serviceable quarterback. He's not good, but he's a serviceable quarterback until you reach your next bridge quarterback. I think this
is an insane take.
Stepping up their
think
defense a little bit. Yeah,
I think that's wild because they did just get Jalen Petir, right? I don't know.
Jalen Petrie, yeah.
Petrie, and they got Derek Stingley in this last draft, which super solid safety, can also play slot. Derek Stingley is a very good outside corner. Obviously they need some work. They're first year in the league, but you already got 2 very good DBs. You probably need a good pass rusher. They're not getting to the quarterback, taking too much time, which is making that secondary look bad. So if you got someone like Will Anderson or Nolan Smith, they have a better chance at
See, here's my thing, right? I think if you keep building up that secondary, then the pass rushers will come. But if you put one very good pass rusher on that defensive line, then nothing will change, right?
And it worked for them with JJ Watt.
Well, yeah, but JJ Watt was a freak of nature. So let me know whenever they call the next JJ Watt's name in the NFL draft. I'll wait.
Well, it could be Will Anderson, but it's going to be CJ Stroud. You got to pick
Press
best
A to
player
doubt.
available. The only other option is to trade down, but the problem is the teams that are right behind them are the Raiders and the Bears. And do either of them take a quarterback?
I feel like you could maybe see the Raiders take one, just
Yeah, I
because
can see the Raiders taking CJ Stroud as well.
Yeah, I think they're definitely in the
Yeah.
market for maybe a quarterback. I feel like with Justin Fields kind of figuring out how to use his legs to extend the game, become a little bit more, of a runner, that they're probably not going to draft a quarterback this year in that top section.
Right.
They might
So
draft someone in maybe the third round, but
yeah,
they're
so
not
I
going to
just
draft
I
someone
don't see them getting a good trade down partner like close. And if you're trading down from the number 1 pick, you want to stay in that 1 to 3 range most of the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, even the teams behind them, like maybe the Saints could trade up, but did the Saints trade away their first round pick last year for this year?
I'm not sure. I don't think they
Um,
might. Was Tyrann Mathieu a signing or a trade?
he was a
It was
signing.
a trade.
Signing.
No, he was a signing. He was a free agency signing. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But I mean, yeah, the teams behind them don't really need a quarterback. So like if they feel like Davis Mills is the guy, you take Will Anderson there. You just you take who's on the top of your board. But I feel like you have to take you can't pass up on what it looks to be a generational quarterback.
well, here's what I'm saying though. Is they might be able to trade down with the Bears to put the Bears up at number 1, and the Bears could take someone like Will Anderson, where then Houston would then get the number 3 pick, where they still have a chance at taking CJ Stroud, because there's still a chance that the Raiders might try to stick with Derek Carr for another couple of years before they draft someone. So he could drop down, and then they'll get Will, and the Bears will get Will Anderson since they just trade away to
So the Saints, I just looked it up. The Saints traded their first round pick to the Eagles.
for who?
That was when they drafted Olave.
Oh, they traded for the pick for Chris
Yeah,
Olave.
I
Okay.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so here's one other wild take. I could see a first round pick in Justin Fields going to Houston for that first round pick for the Bears
I
to
don't
move
think
up to
so.
take CJ Stroud.
I
I could
don't
see
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I
crazy.
understand Justin Fields is very, very good, but a lot of the Bears fans other than the past couple of weeks, they've been low on Justin Fields. There's a lot of negative things surrounding Justin Fields in Chicago until as of late, whenever he's been popping off and doing his thing out there.
Well, I think the thing is, like, you're not going to trade from 1 to 3 and for a starting quarterback if it's not someone who's going to have a very high impact on you winning now. So I don't think Justin Fields increases their chances of winning that much. Whereas you have a longer future with someone like CJ Stroud, who was a little bit better of a passer than Justin Fields is.
Yeah, but Justin Fields is a little lighter on his feet. Look how successful Deshaun Watson was whenever he was in Houston. He's a nice mobile quarterback.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson could throw a football a lot better than Justin Fields can.
Yeah, but he can't throw a ball better than CJ Stroud can. See what I'm saying here?
I mean, he has a good arm. It's just, I don't know. I feel like that's offensive line is why those deep balls aren't getting open. He just doesn't have the time. But
yeah,
so right now at the number 2 pick, if we're talking no trades happen, the Las Vegas Raiders have the 2nd pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this team, I expect the Texans to take CJ Stroud. If they decide to move on from Derek Carr, you take Bryce Young. If not, if they're going to keep Derek Carr, you bring in Will Anderson.
You think they take Bryce Young over Hendon Hooker with Bryce Young's recent struggles?
I don't know. I just don't know how well Hendon Hooker's trending upwards. I just don't know if he goes that high.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just feel like Bryce Young has fallen a whole bunch because of his recent failures. Not saying that he's not playing good football at the college level, but he's not playing to that level where he was last year.
Yeah. Okay. So Hendon Hooker is projected late first round. There's like 4 or 5 quarterbacks projected ahead of him.
Yeah. Maybe someone like Drake May. Some of those. I think Drake May's a junior, so he's eligible. for the draft through this year.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
expect Drake May to come back. I think it's a loaded quarterback room. It's going to be a year where he comes back just because next year's class is going to be weaker. He's going to go higher. Where there's a lot of quarterbacks that are trending upwards. You know, a lot of teams like Tyler Van Dyke for his big arm. Will Levis is still up there. So there's a lot of quarterbacks that are up there. I expect the Raiders to. I don't think this is a Derek Carr problem. I think this is a talent problem. I think they go Will Anderson with that second pick.
Oh yeah, I think like you said, they're still in that mode where it's best available, and
Yeah.
probably CJ Stroud's going to go number 1, so you're probably going to take someone like Will Anderson at number 2. Very solid.
I'd be down for them. I'd be down for them to grab the pass rusher. I don't think the Derek Carr the Derek Carr experiment's over yet because they just brought in Devontae Adams this year. It's his first year with the team. They're not going to separate that connection after everything they gave up to make that connection happen yet. So I don't see them moving on to grab another quarterback at number 2. I think they're going to grab a pass rusher.
Yeah. Now I do think you could possibly see a Paris Johnson pick with the Raiders here. You know, left tackle at Ohio State, top projected left tackle. That offensive line is bad for the Raiders. So I could see them taking offensive line if they deem that their biggest need. But I feel like they're going to go pass rusher. That defense has been bad this year.
Yeah, we're giving up a whole lot of points, getting into a lot of shootouts in close games. And, I would definitely bet that the Raiders most of the time won't be able to get a stop whenever they need to with the defense that they have.
Yeah. So pick 3 is the Carolina Panthers. I think they're picking quarterback no matter what. I think they're just going to wait and see who drops. They're going to take Bryce Young or Will Levis here, depending on who they feel fits their team better. I honestly could see Will Levis possibly going ahead of Bryce Young with some of those struggles. But the Panthers are definitely taking a quarterback.
Oh yeah, they don't have anyone. They have their filler at PJ Walker right now, but other than that, they don't really have a solid quarterback. And and I could also see them moving on from DJ Moore in the offseason and maybe trying to replace him with a solid receiver out of like Ohio State. I mean, I don't think maybe that early, but I could see that being one of their moves is to get rid of DJ Moore, try to trade up for a pick, something like that. Get another first rounder.
I mean, possibly, but I feel like you're gutting your offense too much. The way that offense has been playing as of late has been a lot better, which is weird since they're starting, what looked to be a lesser quarterback, but is playing better than the quarterbacks that they had. And then they trade away one of the best running backs in the NFL, and their offense is now better. It's a weird situation that they're in. But I think they have to go quarterback. I like PJ Walker. He's not the long-term. Okay, so in a weird turn of events with the draft day pick or trade last year with the Saints and the Eagles, the Saints got 2 first rounders last year, but gave up their first rounder this year to the Eagles. So the team with the best record in the league is projected to have a top 5 pick. So the Eagles are picking at number 4 here. This is a huge pick for them. There's going to be a lot of guys on the board. Is a Paris Johnson available? Does Will Anderson fall? There's going to be a lot of options here. They're going to pick best player available. I feel like this is going to be just the rich get richer situation. The Eagles are in prime position. They could honestly trade this pick down, get a bunch more picks out of it, but I think they take a probably a receiver here. Maybe they get a Jackson Smith and Jigba, to kind of play that, fill that slot role and you kind of be nasty with them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do trade this pick down for a bunch of picks. Howie Roseman's kind of a genius.
Yeah. Do you think maybe they go after the Georgia DT? And Jalen Carter, to try to beef up that D line, especially with an aging Fletcher Cox.
I
They've
don't know.
also got Jordan Davis and Ndamukong Suh signed with them today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you bring in like another stud dude to play DT, and now whenever Fletcher Cox and Ndamukong Suh are retire, which is definitely going to happen shortly. You now have 2 stud DTs in there, and you just continue the same dominance that you've had for years with Fletcher Cox.
I think a really good fit here would actually be Nolan Smith out of Georgia,
Yeah,
because the Eagles like to move around those linebackers to play coverage and to rush the passer in a lot of disguises. And
Yeah.
Nolan Smith can do a little bit of everything. So I think he could be a really good pick here that would fit with their scheme. You could plug him in into a lot of places. I think it would be a little bit of a reach, but he's a freak athlete, and it would just make that defense so much more versatile than it already is.
yeah. I'll say, especially with them having Nakobe Dean, who they got last year. He's been playing super solid for them in the middle of the field. You know, I like I like the kid. I like what he's been doing. I definitely think getting another stud linebacker out there would help. It's like the same thing I'm saying with the DT, is you need to pair up another two studs together out there and just let them kind of go to work, whether it's on the D line or on the in the linebacker position.
Yeah, I think my favorite DT out of this class though is Brian Brees out of Clemson. I think he's a really good pass rusher. He's a big body. That would, you would pair him up with Jordan Davis long term. It would be a really good interior pass rush because, like you said, Fletcher Cox is aging. Even though they signed Ndamukong Suh this year, he's
Ndamukong
30,
Suh's
he's
old
36. Too, Javon Hargrave is a good pass rusher, but he's not a great run defender. So he's a very situational DT. He's kind of that DT you plug in on third downs and some passing plays where you're able to get a little bit extra pressure. So I think Brian Brees, if you're looking at DT, would fit, but I think outside linebacker could be a dangerous place for them.
Now, could you also see him taking someone like Kali Ringo, like a stud corner out there? He's just to kind of fill some of the they got big play slays older. They got
Bradbury's older. Yeah, I mean they
Bradbury's
definitely could go corner here. It would also make sense with that defense. You got just like looking for another replacement for Fletcher Cox. That would make sense as well. You got two older corners, and that Kale Ringo or another corner that you take would get to learn from like two really good corners.
Yeah, definitely.
But then to pick number 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a team that they do have a lot of holes. They need to fill some holes, but I think they go D line as well, more interior D line. Like they just drafted Trayvon Walker. They have Josh Allen, so that they filled out their edges. They need to get that interior guy. So whether it's Javon Carter or Brian Brees, whoever's available there, I think they're going interior defensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, I could also see them taking like a tackle or a solid guard. There's a couple of very good tackles in this draft.
If Paris Johnson falls that far, I could see them taking Paris Johnson.
Right now, they have the number 1 tackle as Alu Fashanu, tackle out of Penn State.
Okay.
So he's the number 1 prospect at tackle right now. So they have him at the number 5 pick right now, at least. But like you said, like there's some very solid tackles coming out of the Big Ten this year. And they're all to be taken within the top 10 picks. So you probably can't go wrong with any of them. It's just kind of this is probably like a little bit of biasism, like who thinks who's better or whatnot.
Yeah, and this is going to be, like you said, this is going to be an interesting draft as well, because you could have some of those really good linemen fall, some of these really good defensive linemen fall, because there's 5 quarterbacks projected first round. So is there a run on quarterback early that we see 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10, teams moving up, and some of these guys get to fall, farther to a better team to be able to take them?
Yeah, which
I'd like to see this pick turn into. I'd like this Jacksonville team to get themselves like a nice headhunter at safety.
Okay.
Because their defensive back unit is subpar at the best. And JT, you said his name wrong. It's the superior Josh Allen. Don't forget that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, I'd like to see this turn into a nice headhunting safety, somebody who can be a leader in that secondary unit for the Jaguars.
Well, same thing. There's a couple. I mean, they're not safeties, but there's a couple good corners, like we were saying, like Ringo. I mean, Joey Porter. I mean, it'd be a little bit of reach to take Joey Porter, but Joey Porter's like a top 15 pick. I don't think there's any like super like. It doesn't look like there's any like super stud safeties.
I don't think that this is a great safety class for like taking a top 10 safety.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to wait till the combine when we see some metrics and stuff that that always sways the draft a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I
but
could see I could see like a good second round or maybe a good third round safety in some of the safeties. But I think right now, like you're probably looking, if you're looking DBs, you're probably looking corner in that first round instead. You know.
yeah, I don't see them taking a safety here. I just don't think it makes sense with their pick. If they trade down, maybe taking a safety, but at number 5, that feels like a extreme reach
Yeah.
with the safeties that are coming out.
There's just too much talent in other positions on the field.
Yeah, because I mean, like I like Jordan Battle, and I just don't see any first round picks going, or early first round picks going to a safety. But yeah, at number 6 we got the Bears. This is going to be another one. They're going to draft best player available. I think they take an offensive lineman here.
Yeah, almost no question. If they don't start addressing that offensive line, Justin Field is going to die in Chicago. They have to bury him on Soldier Field because he can't run. He cannot run for his life every play like he has been. Even though as of late he's been making some really good plays with his feet. They've got to address the revolving door they have at their offensive line.
Yeah, that offensive line from tackle to interior is not good. Yeah, Justin Fields is making great plays with his legs. He's not taking hits on his runs either. He's playing smart right now, but that's not sustainable long term if you're forcing your quarterback to have to run because your offensive line can't block.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the only other thing I could say though is there is also some pretty good receivers in this draft, and the receiver play out there hasn't been great. It's just he's like. I see Justin Fields making some of these throws, and like the receivers just aren't doing their job. They're, not turning up field into the end zone. They're kind of dropping passes that should be catches. I mean, they got Chase Claypool, but
Yeah, but that was going to be my question to you, Dan. With them trading their second round pick for this year for Chase Claypool, do you take another wide receiver and have to try to just pick up a bunch of mid-level talent in free agency?
I feel like for me, like how I'd say it is, I feel like if one of the tackles they want gets taken before them, that I think you could possibly see them maybe taking like a Jackson Smith and Jigba right here. But I mean, like I think that's probably like if you're going to take a receiver that early, it's probably going to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. You're not going to see them take another receiver that's further down the list. They're not going to reach that far. So I think you either see a tackle here or a wide receiver, but it has to be Jackson Smith and Jigba.
My only thought on them going wide receiver is that it seems like a waste of a pick because like you could get the 2 best top wide receiver prospects and add them to the Bears. But if Justin Fields isn't going to be blocking, he's going to be taking off instead of throwing passes.
Yeah. But no, what I'm saying is like sometimes he's getting out there making the plays. He's out of the pocket, rips a football across the field, and then we've seen like Darnell Mooney drop it. Like the only touchdowns that Justin Fields has thrown to has been to Cole Kmet. Like the kid is not throwing a touchdown to anyone else. So the receivers aren't doing their jobs. They're not getting touchdowns for this kid. That's why he's forced to scramble all the time because he's not trusting his receivers, and I think you can see that, which is why he is scrambling as much as he is. Like it's an O-line issue and it's a wide receiver issue. The kid doesn't trust his receivers. He doesn't trust his O-line, so he's out there running for his life. He trusts Cole Kmet because he's hit him and he's been reliable. Other than that, he's choosing to make the run.
Now, you might be right. There is always the possibility, like, the Bengals proved it a couple of years ago, where everyone criticized them for not taking Penei Sewell when they took Jamar Chase. And he's able to get open quick enough that it saves Joe Burrow from taking some of those shots.
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable long term because Joe Burrow's still getting sacked a ton. So you still know, even if you take Jackson from the Jigba and he's playing slot, he's getting open super quick, Justin Fields is still going to be getting sacked in very large numbers. The offense is just going to score a little bit more points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that could be, what the Bears need to maybe make a turnaround. I mean, who are some of the big, the big tackle? Like, I mean, like there's like an Orlando Brown Jr., for the Chiefs. He's going to be a free agent this year. I think you said that the Browns are looking to get rid of Jack Conklin.
Well, we just don't have the money to re-sign him.
So
unless he comes back on like a small deal.
I mean, Isaiah Wynn for the Patriots, he's gonna be a free agent. There's a bunch of like super solid tackles that are going to be available at the end of this year, and I feel that the Bears have have cleaned up some cap space when they traded away Roquan Smith, when they traded away Robert Quinn. You know, they have David Montgomery, who's probably going to be on the outs because they have Khalil Herbert behind him. So there's a very good chance that we could see the Bears sign a couple good tackles, you know, in free agency, and then take, you know, like I said, like take a good offensive weapon to help out, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but you know, you're only fixing the issue. You bring in Jack Conklin or Isaiah Wynn. These are tackles that are getting older now. Tackles are playing until they're 35 now,
Yeah.
so it could still work, but it depends on how the Bears haven't proven to go spend a lot of money in free agency. And if they're going to fix this offensive line in a meaningful way, they're going to have to go out and spend large amounts of money in free agency.
Oh yeah, none of these guys are cheap, you know, for sure. But
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, and then I just want to talk about pick number 7 as our last little pick, just to talk about the absolute swindle that the Seahawks have pulled off.
Yeah.
They are on pace to make the playoffs, and on top of that, they're about to have the 7th pick from Denver right now.
It's wild to think about.
People keep getting swindled, and I don't know how I
If
feel
you would
about
have told me that the pick that the Seahawks would have turned into the number 7 pick when they traded Russell Wilson, I would have laughed at you.
it. Yeah.
I'd have been like, yeah, no way. I was like,
I think everyone
Broncos are gonna
expects this.
I expect this Broncos team to be like maybe a 10-11 win team, not win their division, but I expect them to be up there in the win category. But like, it's just not the case.
Yeah, I mean, these next 2 picks were absolute swindles. Now, the Rams are less upset about it than the Broncos are because they got a Super Bowl last year. But
Yeah.
Detroit's getting the number 8 pick from the Rams. So you got 2 teams where, yeah, we had to take on Jared Goff, but you know, the next, you know, you get a Super Bowl and we get a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I mean they can still pull Jared Goff's replacement right here at this number 8 slot. So
yeah. So, but talking about the Seahawks a little bit, I think they probably go pass rusher if they're still, you know, if like a Will Anderson, Nolan Smith, Brian Brees, one of those guys are still available. It doesn't look like they're looking to change at quarterback. Your wide receiver room is solid. You drafted offensive line last year. I think they're about to improve on that defense. Maybe corner, but I think they'll go pass rusher.
yeah, I mean I like the idea of a corner here. There's definitely some solid corners that will be sitting here. I mean, they have Nolan Smith fallen all the way to the number 25 in the draft. So, you know, I was just looking at the.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it would be a reach, but like I feel like he's going to be a riser, not a faller.
Yeah. And I definitely think it, you know, him being, you know, hurt a little bit this year has kind of, you know, caused him to fall. But like you said, there's a lot of very good people. I could see the Seahawks needing a linebacker. That's definitely a weakness of theirs. You know, that could, you know, I could see them also taking a corner here. There's a couple good corners that would sit there. I mean, I know Tariq Woolen has been doing well, but you know, yep.
Yeah, they're playing 2 really young corners. Kobe Bryant is playing that other corner spot.
Yeah.
So you know, they're playing very young corners. They seem to be doing at least solid, you know, pretty good.
They're winning games, so like they're doing something, you know.
And they're allowing like the least amount of yards to wide receivers. They're one of the best teams, you know, in the NFL at that so far this year. So I mean, the secondary is playing well, like so much better than projected. You got linebackers like Jordan Brooks there. So I don't think you need to go like middle linebacker. I think the Seahawks really need a pass rusher.
I think the Seahawks here. I'm okay. Unpopular opinion. I think it's painfully obvious that Geno Smith is just a bridge quarterback, and I think the Seahawks, if they don't take a quarterback with this pick, I see them maybe adding depth to that wide receiver core with an aging Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
I could possibly see them taking a wide receiver here if a Jackson Smith and Jigba is still there at 7. I could see them taking him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a. I was just looking at, you know, some picks. There's also a super solid edge rusher, Miles Murphy from Clemson, 6'5", 270. He's kind of got like that same size and explosiveness that Trayvon Walker has, who went first overall last year. So, you know, very big dude, you know, long reach. You know, so I think, yeah, that's probably, if he falls that far, I think that'd be a very solid pickup for the Seahawks to take.
Yeah. I mean, they pick best player available here. They need pass rushers. They can bolster that secondary.
Yeah.
You could see them taking a receiver or even a quarterback if the quarterback they like is still there. So this is a prime spot for the Seahawks with the young talent that's playing well for them. I mean, really, they have their book is wide open. They could pick anything here. But pick 8 is Detroit. I expect them to take a quarterback.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I feel like they need a quarterback. They need to win some games. They look too hot early, and I think if the Lions don't start winning games, in next season, that Dan Campbell's job is going to be on the line. And he'll probably be out of there within the next year or so.
Yeah,
No,
and I believe
I don't agree
Jamison
with
Williams
that.
is coming back soon.
I think
Yeah.
Dan Campbell, he adds a nice wrinkle to that line. Gives us quite a competitive spirit. I really think he's a really good locker room guy. So I feel like even if he might not post a winning record next year, because if you say they go quarterback, right? If they bring in their guy, but like he doesn't pick up the system, or there's still some struggles going on, but you know that your coach is a good locker room guy who's got the attention of your players, it might not be the best. You set yourself back even farther after taking a guy that your coach wanted, and if you take away his job, it hurts the team even more.
What I mean is, you need to see improvement. Like they can't go, go say like 5 and whatever this year, and then next year go 3 and whatever. Like they need to go. If they go 5 wins next year, they need to go 7 wins next year. You can't see regression as a head coach.
So the biggest question.
It's a lot of pressure on the quarterback that you bring in, right?
Well, the biggest question is going to be
for the guy
here.
who has to learn your system and learn your offense.
I mean, Jamison Williams is supposed to be back after Thanksgiving. So he's going to be back in the next couple of weeks. So you get an absolute electric receiver back to pair up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. So we'll have to see how that impacts this Detroit offense and how it impacts that passing game, because they really are missing a second wide receiver. They really need that. Jamison Williams can be an elite wide receiver in this league. So if he comes in and plays, I think Detroit can, plays at his level. Detroit can win some games. So I think that saves Dan Campbell, which what we're talking about. And then they still get this Rams pick that's looking to be a top pick. Their pick falls from 11 to, 15 or 16 when they win a couple games. And that really, I think that will really show, okay, do they stay with Jared Goff or do they go for a Will Levis or a Tyler Van Dyke or a Phil Dracovic that
at the 7-15 position. Yeah.
Right. Welcome to Bailey's TED Talk. Bailey, what do you got for us this week?
So, if this was done earlier, I did give Dan here some spicy memes. I believe I've already hit on Derrick Henry anytime touchdown score. I'm 15 yards away from Aaron Jones over, and I do have the Titans at -3.5. Sorry we couldn't get that to you earlier. #fuck Dan. So, little spice. Let's go and start off with the Steelers. We suck. Let's do this. Steelers facing Bengals at 425 on Sunday. I'm taking the over, which is sitting at 40.5. Since 2011, this is 28-3. So that is a strong pass that I would like to go on. I don't think it's going to be in the side of Pittsburgh. I'm hoping on Burrow to throw about 37 points because I know we're about to put up 30. So I like the over at 40.5. So there's that one. Next one I'm moving into is another rematch in the AFC East. New England versus the New York Jets. Obviously, Sauce Gardner still has not yet let up a touchdown, but DJ Reed has struggled against Jacoby Myers and Nelson Aguilar. He actually gave up 129 receiving yards the last time these two teams met. I'm going New England -3.5. As much as I'd like to say that the Jets are going to come back and win this, I don't like the confusion that is in the backfield right now between Michael Carter and James Robinson. They don't have a clear-cut RB1. Robinson only saw 27% snap time last week. And he's also a little banged up as well. So I don't like that confusion for them. Not having Breece Hall is kind of hurting them. So it's kind of forced to play into Bill Belichick's game, which is stop the run, make you beat him in the air. So I do like New England -3.5. Stevenson's going to crush it as usual. Next one, we've seen the rise of you OSU boys' favorites. Justin Fields has created some history in the past 2 weeks. Justin Fields has rushed for 170 plus in both games the past 2 weeks. The line hasn't come out yet, but since week 2, he's had at least 52 rushing yards in every single game. Now, usually they don't go too hard on quarterback lines, even with 100-yard receiving lines. So even any rushing lines, anything under 70, I'm still considering taking. And then also Fields anytime touchdown scorer. I believe that's pretty solid. He has 3 straight rushing touchdown games. I think he's going to keep it going. So I like that a lot. And then Mr. Boosie, I'm coming your way with Daniel Jones. The same thing, rushing yards. Daniel Jones, they're probably going to have his line at anywhere between 25 to 30. This season, they're 7-2. Besides one game, Daniel Jones has at least 25 rushing yards.
Can you address him by his correct name? That is
Vanilla
Vanilla Vic.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Vanilla Vic. Vanilla Vic
Vanilla Vic. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what Saquon Barkley calls him. It's Vanilla
That's what
Vic.
Saquon Barkley calls him. Yeah,
Okay.
Vanilla Vic has at least 25 rushing yards in every single game and has at least 5 rushing attempts every single game. So I like the rushing attempts a lot, especially against the Detroit Lions. I don't want to be like say it, but this could be another 100-yard rushing game for him. The Detroit Lions are the worst team in the league to face, or the best team to face for opposing teams. Their defense is not there yet. The next one is Commanders are 3-0 against the -3 against the 1-7-1 Texans. I don't know why this is so low. Heineke, who tried to copy off of Perk Thuggins, I believe the name is, Dan.
Perk Thuggins.
They tried to copy Perk Thuggins, put some ice on Taylor Heineke. He looked a little uncomfortable. It's okay. But Heineke, Terry McLaurin's popping off playing. They have 2 good running backs in Gibson and Robinson. Those 2 obviously fighting each other themselves. But it feels too easy, especially since Chase Young is expected to be activated for this week. Big love Chase Young. So I'm hoping that -3.5 is kind of a trap. Not really. We'll see. The next one is for our annoying Cowboys friends. I'm taking the over in the Cowboys game. It's sitting at 48 right now. I expect that to drop just a little bit, but it is since they've only played each other 5 times since 2012, and it's hit 3 out of the 5 times. So I'm going to roll with that, the over in that game, especially since Minnesota's been rolling. Perk Thuggins just cracking it right now. Justin Jefferson looks like the best receiver in the league. I expect at least
Thuggins.
Perk Thuggins. You haven't heard that yet.
That's the name. No, I haven't heard that. I've heard Kurt Cochains.
Kurt Cochains, that works too. They've been Perk Thuggins. And then they have Dallas at -9.5 in this. They have the 6-2 Dallas Cowboys -1.5 against the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. I believe the DBs in Dallas are going to get exposed. So I would fade that. I would say Minnesota -1.5 easily. And that is my TED Talk.
Okay, Bailey, I got a question for you. So the Browns-Bills matchup.
I'm scared of that game.
This game was supposed to be played in Buffalo with 2 to 4 feet of snow in that game. The game gets moved to Detroit to play in a dome. Does that impact any bets on this game?
Yes. So if they were going to play in the snow, I was literally just reading up on it today. The under was supposed to be 52. That under had dropped to 39 just based on the snow. This was before they decided to move it. Everyone thought this was going to be a slugfest just running. So Nick Chubb's numbers went up. So did Devin Singletary. But now that they're not playing, I think Josh Allen throwing a touchdown is way more plausible. So hop on those odds, at least Josh Allen +2 touchdowns. I do not want to touch the over or under because this could go either way, especially with the Bills. And Allen is still recovering from a UCL injury, so it's a little sus. But I do like Josh Allen 2+ touchdown throwings, so it looks good. The running back, it does affect the bets. It not being in the snow, it does kind of concern a little bit, dropping away from it being the snow, only them running. So I want to do Nick Chubb +80 rushing yards, but Kevin Stefanski hasn't been pressing the HB dive enough lately for me to be confident in that.
Bailey, you got to remember that's the inferior Josh Allen.
The best Josh Allen's on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the superior Josh Allen.
Superior.
Remember that, JT.
Ridiculous. All right. Well, Bailey, we appreciate your input. We're ready for you to go about 3-9 on your picks. So let's get it.
I mean, Dan will defend me. Hopefully, I've been throwing some heat lately. Just saying. I'm looking at my list and I'm sitting at over 80% in my bets. I'm a little weird on this week, but
except for last Sunday when you were so drunk that you couldn't throw any bets.
I'm sorry. I was kind of sloppy. I was drinking since 6 a.m. Okay, leave me alone.
All right. Well, Bailey, we appreciate it.
All right, boys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming by, man.
So, into our pick'em segment. Thursday night matchup, Tennessee at Green Bay. Me and Mr. Boosie got Green Bay. They're losing right now. Dan's got the Titans because him and Derrick Henry have a sexual relationship. So let's jump to the 1 o'clock games. Chicago, the
Poor
first
Aaron
1 o'clock
Rodgers.
game. Chicago is traveling to Atlanta. This is gonna be a fun one. This
Oh, is
is
it?
gonna be about 300 rushing yards and about 170 combined passing yards.
Who do you think has more passing yards?
I'm going with the Bears, and I'm going the Bears win this game.
I'm also
I'm
taking
also
the
going to
Bears.
go with the Bears because I feel like the Falcons defense isn't quite ready for a quarterback who's got them wheels on.
Okay, so everyone's got the Bears there.
The
Alright.
Bears.
The
The
next 1
Bears.
o'clock game in Detroit now, Cleveland at Buffalo.
I
I'm
think
going Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm taking Buffalo as well. If it was
Fortunately.
if it was in the snow,
I was gonna
probably
take Cleveland. I was gonna
yeah,
take Cleveland in the
that's
snow, but I can't do it in the dome now.
Unpopular opinion. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns in this matchup. I'm going to ride with
Okay.
JT's Cleveland Browns in this matchup, I guess.
All right. Next 1 o'clock game, we got Eagles at Colts. I'm taking the Eagles. I like the way Jeff Saturday coached in his first game with the Colts, but you're running up against a juggernaut.
True. I'm taking the Eagles as well. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I'll grab the Eagles in this matchup. This should be what everyone thought the Washington Commanders game was going to be. It should definitely just be Eagles coming in and taking care of business. Should be an easy Eagles dub here.
Yeah. Next game, Jets at the New England Patriots. Who you got, Dan?
Oh, Patriots. Ah. Who you taking?
JT, finish it off for me. JETS.
Jets. I'm on the same boat with Bruce. All right. Oh, here's a barn burner right here. Next 1 o'clock game, Los Angeles Rams at New Orleans Saints.
Oh,
Give me the Saints. I know it's a wild statement.
I'm with you.
But-
Give me the Saints. Give me
Yeah.
the Saints.
give me a tie. No, just kidding. I'll take the
Oh,
Saints.
all
here.
right. No.
I'll take the Saints in this matchup. I like the Saints team a little bit better than I like the opponent here. It's just gonna be a bad game.
This is a bad.
I think the Saints will find a way to slug it out.
This is a bad Rams team.
Yeah.
This Rams team went all in last year, and now it's like, well, we got the chip last year. That was enough. So now we're just here. Cooper Kupp being gone.
It's downhill. Yeah. Next 1 o'clock game, New York Football Giants are at home against the Lions.
Easy. Give me the freaking Giants, my guy. We're riding high. We're 1 game back from the Eagles from taking this division. Give me those Giants.
I'm taking the Giants as well.
I'm going Giants as well. Detroit's just awful right now. The next 1 o'clock game, Carolina Panthers at Baltimore Ravens. I actually think
Easy
this could be a
Ravens
close
dub.
game, but I'm going with the Ravens.
Easy Ravens dub right here.
I'm taking the Ravens as well.
Okay.
Lamar's gonna do his thing.
Dang.
Okay. Washington Commanders at the Houston Texans, last 1 o'clock game.
Give me my boy and the Washington Commanders. Tyler
Bro.
Heineke.
I feel like you just got to ride the bandwagon. Heineke's hot right now. Like Bailey, Bailey talked about. Chase Young's coming back. Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take the Commanders here. I feel like they're gonna be coming in with that extra energy after beating the last undefeated team in the league. Chase Young coming back, like you boys said. Terry McLaurin last week 8 against the Eagles. So they just need to get the football in that man's hands, and that team can do some special things. So I'm going to take the Commanders here.
Okay, we got another fun one, 4 o'clock slot. Las Vegas Raiders are going to Mile High to play the Broncos.
Ew.
Neither? Neither? Is that a choice?
I'll take the Lions.
I'm going Raiders here. At some point, I have to be right.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos.
I'm gonna ride with Dan here. It's Broncos country. Let's ride. I think that secondary is good enough to keep Devontae Adams under wraps, and like this team just isn't productive unless Devontae Adams is dealing the ball. I think they can find a way to put Josh Jacobs in a bottle so they don't get carved up too bad. on the run game.
Okay. All right. The next 4 o'clock game, Cowboys versus the Vikings.
Vikings. Next question.
Oh, now I don't want to take them. Because Bruce is like
Tough
0-3 whenever he's called a team and then said next question. Like he called the line, said next question, lost. I'm like, oh.
Nah, Vikings. Next question. Bro. Justin Jefferson. He's that man. He's got that dog in him, bro.
I almost like want to put my entire savings on the Cowboys now. Like, jeez.
Dan's like,
Yeah, give me the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys.
I'm still
It's
thinking.
gonna be a good game. This can be a good game, but give me the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I'm taking the
Dan,
Vikings.
don't do it. Yeah,
I'm taking
okay.
the-
Yeah.
Okay. The
I
last
gotta
4 o'clock
be
game.
right at some time whenever I say next question. Dan. It'll happen.
The last 4 o'clock game. Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Acrisure Stadium.
Ew. Hearing that name makes me want to vomit.
Give me the Bengals.
Wah, wah, wah. I'll take Joe Shiesty and the Bengals as well.
Joe Shiesty.
Is
Do it.
Joe cool?
Do it, JT.
Do it, JT.
Give me the
Come
on, do
Steelers.
I did.
Give me the Steelers. Give me the Steelers.
Okay.
The kid's back. The kid's back. Okay. TJ Watt's back. And you know who's not back? Jamar Chase. Give me the Steelers. Okay. The 8:20 game, Kansas City traveling to the Chargers. This is a good one. This is gonna be a really good game. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Kansas City's gonna win.
Yeah, give me KC.
LA Chargers. Next question.
Okay. Well, he's 2 this week. 2 this week. Make it 0-5. Make it 0-5.
He's got aggressive.
I will double down. Give me these Chargers. I want Jay Herbo to come out there and just explode on this Chiefs team.
The Chargers receivers are all hurt. It's just they need.
Williams is back, you know.
Yeah, but Allen's not. And,
Yeah.
well, I guess he could be back, but he hasn't been listed as back yet.
Yeah.
Give me Jay Herbo. Give me that Austin Eckler.
Okay. And then the Monday night football game. San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals.
Give me the Niners.
Give me the Niners.
Yeah. I was gonna Niners next question, but all right, I'll take the Niners as well.
Dude, you can't just triple down on next question. That's
I
like
can.
That's like
I
a one a
Yeah,
podcast type
but-
thing.
I mean, if he keeps doing it, at some point he's gonna get them all wrong, and he's gonna stop doing it.
No,
realizes he
never.
hates
We'll do it till we die. No, but I will take the 49ers this matchup. I think the team's just way too versatile. They just have way too many weapons for most teams to be able to guard. So give me the Niners here.
This has been the Boys and Ball podcast. If you liked it, leave a like, hit the subscribe button. Wow.